Truth Frequency Radio.
The sleeper has awakened!
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Thank God it's Friday!
And a TGIF to you all. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Josh Corey, and we've got, well, it's a show. And I've got some very good friends that serve as co-hosts here on this little show. We shall start with Mr. Zachary Zabala. You may know him from his YouTube channel over there. It's called Good Times for All. Sorry, I got weird stuff going on this monitor. I don't know what's happening. Zach, how are you doing this weird Friday morning?
Hey, Josh. Hello, everybody out there in TFR land. Not bad. It was a good week. I found out something really cool yesterday that just made my whole day. I was out watering the plants and everything and sat down for about 10, 15 minutes afterwards and noticed I wasn't seeing any hummingbirds at the hummingbird feeder. And you have to change the water every few days. So I was like, oh, it must be the day to change the water. You know, it'd been a few days. So I was like, okay, I'm going to change the water. As soon as I hung up the new hummingbird feeder, you know, with the new water in it, before I got back to the porch, which is 20 feet away, a hummingbird was already at the feeder. As soon as I turned around, got to the porch, there was a hummingbird already there. And another one flew up within 10 seconds. So it's like they were waiting for me to change it. You know, they were actually like, they saw me come out there and grab them, and I hope they got a little bit excited or whatnot. And then as soon as I went back out there and hung them up, they were like, view, view, view. And I sat there for about an hour and just watched them come in. Oh, it was awesome. It just made my day, you know?
Well, that is awesome. Nothing like watching hummingbirds. My dad's got about, 5 or 6 hummingbird feeders. So during the summer, any given day, you can go out there and see 20 hummingbirds to over 100 hummingbirds between the feeders and the trees and just sort of around. It gets a little crazy. There's something about those hummingbirds. I don't know.
They're majestic. They are. If there's a royal animal, then I believe a hummingbird is one of them. Even though they're all royal in their own way, there's just something magical about a hummingbird.
Agreed.
It's like it's not supposed to be able to move that way. Nothing should be able to move that fast. And it's not just their wings up and down. I mean, those things scoot like from 0 to top speed. They're just like, I don't know. They're amazing. Love them.
They are.
And had an awesome chat on Wednesday, but we'll talk about that here once we get everybody else in.
All right. Let's say hello to Mr. Lucas King. LC King is his channel over there on YouTube. Lucas, good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Good evening. Yes, it's evening. I'm doing good. What's been happening? Well, I've just been sort of working on my world sort of stuff. So, yeah, coming to some cool little conclusions and things like that. So, yep, it's been pretty good. My daughter's 9th birthday tonight, so I'm not going to be hanging around for the whole show. But, yeah, this is the first portion.
We appreciate what little time you do give us. I know that I do give you trouble. I know what it's like.
Blow smoke up my ass.
All right, let's say hello to Mr. Walter Johnson, a.k.a. Flat Earth Head. They're on YouTube's Walter. Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Guten Tag. Good day, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. It is one. We have made it to Friday, dudes. And as Zach has said, quite an interesting week. Some crazy stuff here, but we'll get into all that later. Always, good with bad, bad with good. Can't have one without the other. Lots of crazy, good excitement and energy and love here at the house with the kittens. Becoming quite used to their surroundings. Coming and going pretty much as they please now. So, Mom still isn't comfortable with that. She still gets a little panicky when they're not kind of all in one little spot so she can keep an eye on them. But she's starting to loosen up. She's starting to let them just go and just finally lay down and deal with it and let them finally come back to her. So she's getting over it. But yeah, great week. We had a great, as Zach said, great talk on Wednesday. We'll get into that here in a minute. But we're going to have a great talk today because not only do we have a guest, but you're here, Josh. How was your week?
It was nominal. It was okay. It was not
I love it.
A bad week at all. I mean, it was great. It was just a normal week. Go to work, come home, go to bed, wake up, rinse and repeat. The girls are doing great. I thought I would get the trimming done last night. I got all the big stuff done. I still had a few little ones to get rid of. And, well, Lucas, you can probably appreciate this a little bit. When you're going through collecting from your garden and you start just, munching as you go, it kind of throws you off maybe your appetite and everything later on because it's just sort of out of the ordinary. Well, needless to say, as I'm trimming, this is a nice fresh green leaf. I'll just pop that right in my mouth. And about an hour and a half later, I'm like, I think I'm going to go upstairs. I think I just want to lay down for a minute and just relax. So it wasn't very long before I realized that my salad had kicked in and maybe I ought not try to finish up. So maybe this evening, well, maybe tomorrow morning, I will be able to finish up and get actually, it's the third one. I got 2 girls done. One girl's about a third of the way done before the salad kicked in. So, yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful sleep last night for what it's worth. Anyway, we do have a guest this morning. Let's say hello to Callum Wilkinson, returning back here on the Ironworx. Callum, good morning to you, sir, and how are you?
Hello, my dudes. I am very well. I am rested. I slept like 12 hours yesterday, just out of the blue. So I'm in hibernation mode. So,
well, awesome. Hibernation mode.
And cold. It's cold in hibernation.
I was about to say, it must be chilly where you are, sir.
Yeah, you look bundled up.
Now you said cold. So what is cold?
It's like, what is it, like 10 degrees now? It's dropping faster. The sun just went down. So it'll probably get to 5. That's cold. That's freezing. It's everything
10 degrees. So that's about what,
Celsius.
40-ish, yeah.
40-ish, 45-ish, maybe somewhere around there. Yeah, all right. That's chilly. I wouldn't call that
That is a
cold.
balmy 50
I'd call
degrees,
it chill.
is what I'm seeing here according to the Google Net.
It's not snowing.
Oh,
And I'm a
50,
skinny guy too.
You're 20 degrees away from snow almost.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't cold. You don't know what cold is. No, I'm giving you a hard time, man. I give Walt a hard time about it too.
He may not know what cold is, but he definitely knows what hot is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a proper desert here. If I see like snow on Ayers Rock, then it's all over people. It's all over. Run! Go underground.
Yeah, I was talking to a lady at work yesterday, and she was asking me. She says she saw somewhere out west in the desert, it was getting about 42 degrees. She says, "How hot is that?" What's the temperature? Because she knew I could do the conversion. So it was okay. Just take it and double it and add 30, and that'll get you real close to the temperature. She's like, "Is that right though? That's awfully hot. It was like 112 degrees or something outrageous like that." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the desert. That'll do it out west. Yeah, it's really not unusual per se. But yeah, it's like 114 degrees or something ridiculous." So yeah, that's a warm one.
Yeah, I'll translate it for you. Ouch.
Ouch.
That's how hot it. That's how hot it is. Not I'm dying. Just ouch.
Yeah, I'm good with the heat. The heat doesn't bother me too bad. When it gets like 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which that's cold for you. That's like -6 maybe. That's when I start getting cold. That's when it's cold. I don't like that. But like 30 degrees, 0 for you. I used to walk around in shorts outside.
I was going to say that can still be considered short weather around here.
Yep.
Shorts and a sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, but shorts are okay, even at 30.
Mm-hmm. You get used to it. It's just, when you felt it much colder than that, like 60 degrees colder than that, 30 is that's a good day in the winter. I'll take 30 up north in the wintertime. But when it gets in those negatives, yeah, that's why I moved where I am. I think it got 28 degrees was the coldest it got here over the winter. And that's just below your guys' 0.
Yeah, that's good.
2 degrees maybe. Yeah, I can deal with that. That's a nice winter right there. So yeah, I think I found my place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Well, that is really awesome. That is
I
no
still
small
want
thing.
to take over Venezuela, but I'm not getting a whole bunch of help on that aspect right now. So yeah,
Wow.
South Kakalaki will do.
Sounds like you're at the bottom of a long list of people trying to take over Venezuela for what it's worth.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, Bezos might get around to it after he does his space mission, though.
Yeah.
Quit blowing more smoke up the guy's ass, Lucas.
Well, since he's going out there without a spacesuit, he'll get zapped with the gamma rays. We know what happened to the Fantastic Four. So he'll come back a superhero, and then we'll not have a chance against him. Before we get too far from the weather, guys, we are under a tropical warning here. I forgot that, actually. I just looked at the weather to see if it was close to 100 yesterday. It was close, not quite there, 98. Definitely, we have some bad weather heading this way. It doesn't look too severe from what I'm seeing, but these tropical storms can sit and build and grow, but this one doesn't look very well organized at all yet. Yet being the optimal word. Here in Louisiana, we know that can change. So just, keep that in mind when we all do our focus, energy, meditation, prayer, whatever you choose to call it. It definitely would be appreciated down here, not only by me and mine, but all of us down here. So my weather report is finished for the day now.
We'll do. We'll we'll focus some cloud busting that way. It looks like we're scheduled to be about 100 degrees or so today too, so it's going to be a warm one. Let's see. Before we get too far away from Jeff Bezos too, Walter and I had the absolute extreme pleasure of joining our good friend Billy Ray Valentine over there on Aftermath.fm for his show, where we were discussing the Challenger mission and some of the possible effects there. And what if this Blue Origin rocket or whatever the hell Bezos says he's going to ride up there in just happens to explode like the Challenger mission? Now they're going to have to deal with Jeff. And again, I think maybe this is the plan all along. I think it's destined to explode so Bezos and his brother can disappear off to outer lands or whatever it is and join Tupac and Michael Jackson over there beyond Antarctica. And I think he's going to cash in. Bill Gates will probably die here real soon too, and he'll escape. Everybody seems to be.
So I'll leave Elon here with us.
Right? You wanted to
Hold the bag,
you
right?
can
Hold
have
the
that,
bag.
dude.
And
Kick him,
Zuckerberg,
we don't
fucking
want him.
Mark as well. No.
Right. You can keep your Elon Musk and your Dogecoin. We're taking gold and getting the F out of here. Toodles.
Big shout out and thank you so much, sir, to Unintended Consequences, Mr. Baldini himself. $4.99 super chat saying it's Friday, my dudes. He's got $5 on Bezos blowing up.
There you go. Good odds, friend. Good odds.
It's Friday, my dudes.
That's better. Sorry.
Turning in him some kind of, space messiah type. Or it'll blow up, like you said, and it's going to be the warning to where, we cannot privatize space. SpaceX will be absorbed into the NASA, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we paid for it, really. If he didn't get government funding and all NASA's help, they couldn't do what they do. They have, 300 NASA engineers or technicians working at SpaceX, controlling the launches and the data and all that kind of crap. I mean, NASA controls the GPS for all flight paths.
Got to have somebody who knows their green screen stuff, Zach. You can't just throw anybody into the space race. Come on, man. Space is hard.
Space is hard.
Baldini is old in my head. There you go, sir. Oh, good stuff.
Damn it. I know I've got it here somewhere too. Damn it.
Oh, our buddy Tominoid says his money goes on apparently Tom Cruise going kaboom, making Mission Impossible 17, 18. Which number are we on at this point?
He's going to be. Tom Cruise will be riding on the wing, chasing it down.
Right. I gotta say, Bezos. Woo! I'm coming, Bees. I'm coming.
Who's splitting the bill to send Tom Cruise up into space? Because that shit ain't cheap.
Scientology.
We had to work it in there some way.
Well, they got to.
It's those people on the streets handing out the IQ tests that,
Well, I mean, they've got the inside knowledge.
A few dollars.
They would know how.
Stakeholders.
They've got the one with the alien on the mountain. If anybody knows how to get back to space.
They've already got an inroad to it, so yeah, keep choking. Xenon will come back again and show you guys.
I think that was the processor.
Didn't Bezos follow aren't all the ships supposed to look like 747s, golden 747s or something like that? That's Xenon, at least according to South Park. And they're usually pretty accurate when they rip into a religion. But wasn't it all the souls flew to Earth in giant golden 747s through space and then got dropped into a volcano and the souls tried to escape and they are trapped here in this place?
Doesn't antifreeze work into it somehow?
It might.
I think antifreeze works into it. There's antifreeze involved. The chemical they say that has them suspended to thetans or whatever is the same components that are in antifreeze.
Surely this isn't accurate.
No, this is true because there was a book that came out a few years back. Well, it's been quite a few years back now. It was like all the secrets you want to know kind of stuff. So it had the 11 herbs and spices for the Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. It had the secret formula for Coke. It had all. This was before the internet.
It's been my dream to start something from the ground up, but space is hard.
Exactly. Exactly. But this book had the information that you finally pay $100 million and lose your life savings and your family and everything to find out the true secret behind Scientology. And it all wound up being basically what Zach just gave us, including the fact that they're suspended in some liquid that keeps them.
Yeah, go watch the South Park episode, folks. I mean, they don't lie when they just point out how ridiculous some of these things that people believe are. They did a great one on the Mormons.
Great one on Scientology. Is it a billion-year contract? Yeah. Oh, it's an easy decision. It just gets deeper and deeper, that hole, though. The Scientology, the links and everything too with them. It's ridiculous. It's like looking at a bank. You know what links to them,
right? Going back.
Yeah, there are links between everything.
You got to give these people credit, though. They know how to do paperwork, man. I mean, they really do. Whenever they move into an area or whatnot, they get on the city board and the city council, and they get their fingers into it. You know, they're good little manipulators, conspirators, whatever. They're real good at,
which they did from day one. You know, so it's only better and better and better, and the techniques have gotten better and better as well. So when that interviewer was interviewing him, and they've got 3 or 4 cameras and doing that whole thing, following him around everywhere, calls, everything. So it's not just one thing that's laid on to these investigators. You know, it's the whole gamut of what they can do. It's ridiculous. It's full way.
They get dirt on you, and then they got you. You know, once they, like you said, they follow you around with video recorders and this and that, and so you do something wrong, and then they show it to you and say, "Hey, we're going to show everybody this if you don't, play ball."
And that's part of their training as well. If you're going through the Scientology thing, they're training you to give up all this stuff, all your dirty little secrets, as they're recording all of this as well.
Now you're getting rid of all of those engrams and trying to clear all those energy blocks. That's not.
Let it out. Let it all out.
Give it to them. They'll take it from you.
Grip those cans hard, my friend. Grip those cans hard and let it go.
Yeah. She's being used against people in so many things, like politics. It's the same dirty tricks all the way through. You can tell it's dirty because it is the same dirty tricks all the way. As a magician too, it's a bit boring. It's like, the same old fucking trick again. Like they really are not creative. None of this is creative.
From the same group that made NASA, comes L. Ron Hubbard. He was one of the guys that helped JPL and all those guys start up NASA.
Yeah, they were friends with Jack Parsons. They were they palled around together. They did.
Let's not forget their lovely little ceremony out there in the desert with our good buddy Oppenheimer to bring I believe,
Babylon Rising.
Yeah, into being.
Yeah, opened up a rift in the universe apparently, and never bothered to learn how to close it again. So they had to start building concrete bunkers around it. And then stuff started coming through, and they decided to build airstrips and said, "Hey, we'll take this area, this 51st area, and we'll just sort of cordon it off, and nobody can come in here."
So they had the Tesseract, did they?
Something. Definitely had something. I think the ancient ones were definitely coming through.
This wouldn't have been about the same time as they're just sending rockets up into the upper atmosphere.
What kind of crazy coincidence would that be, Special K? Now, come on, man. Really? You're going to go there?
It's rather dark.
Oh, no, indeed.
But I bet you the two aren't
aliens started suddenly becoming the newsworthy.
I find it so hilarious, though. Like, if people are still using the term rocket science, like that's not rocket science. And I've thought about that for a while. It's like, well, what is rocket science? I mean, you've got a tube and you stuff some stuff in it and a wick and you light it.
And hope
that's
doesn't blow up. Hope it goes up and not blows up.
Stuff. It's like,
I was a rocket scientist when I was like 17 then.
Yes.
I was a rocket scientist every 4th of July, every New Year's Eve.
Didn't Mark Sargent get arrested for being a rocket scientist at one point?
I did. I probably should have. I worked at that firework factory that summer, and we made more fireworks, because people don't know this, but most of the fireworks, you don't get them at the factory, like in all those big giant tubes and the big, mortars and stuff. We actually get a bunch of posters, a bunch of cardboard tubes, a bunch of wood blocks, and then the firework, and we hot glue them right there in the factory in the back. And we made tons of these things. Like, he said more than he has ever seen. It was me and a bunch of my buddies from...
But surely you guys adhere to every safety protocol and didn't ever go to take a break and come back smelling like...
We were...
Oh, I hear break music. Wow. Hey, it's break time, guys.
Tis break time. As it tends to do. Stay tuned. I think we're going to open up the phone lines here on the second half of the first half of the Ironworx. We'll be right back.
It's amazing how people have been raving about iLife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iLife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil. But the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iLife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to iLife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's iLife.com. AYA life.com.
Your home has needs. It needs a healthy, dry environment all year round. Start by getting rid of the worst air in the basement and crawl space, where the problems begin and make the whole house sick. Introducing the new Smart Wave Ventilation Unit. It has advanced technologies to continuously reduce moisture, mold, and odors, and expel radon, gases, and pollutants. And now, Wave units include carbon monoxide detection to automatically expel air at a high rate and send you an alert. It also has an app so you can remotely monitor the conditions. Wave is a comprehensive, maintenance-free, affordable solution that will transform your entire home. Protect your home and family with what it needs. Give it a new Smart Wave Ventilation Unit. For more information, call 888-717-WAVE. That's 888-717-WAVE. Or go to dryhealthyhome.com. That's dryhealthyhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Jacob Frank Leibovich is the mastermind behind a global network of satanic cults. He taught that the creator God was evil. Jacob Frank proclaimed himself as the true Messiah. He vowed never to tell the truth. He rejected every moral law and declared that the only way to a new society was through the total destruction of civilization. Murder, rape, incest, and the drinking of blood were perfectly acceptable actions and rituals. His followers established the Marxist system and have infiltrated Islam and Judaism. He was the Messiah of the Illuminati.
EnigmaTV.com. You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Coffee.
Wake up time!
Good morning, world!
Good morning to you. Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
Come on, man. And welcome back to the second half of the first half of the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Josh, Walt, Zach, Lucas, hanging with their buddy Callum this morning, and all of our good friends there in the live chat on YouTube, and over there in the live chat on TFR, though it tends to be a little quiet this time of day. But that's to be expected. It's quiet this time of day in most places here. Around me, anyway.
So I was doing a little bit of research on geothermal energy, just sort of putting things together and that. And then I was like, oh, well, how much energy, which country uses the most geothermal? And it turned out to be the United States. And from there, I sort of was looking at, how much energy consumption and that sort of thing that we use. And it's in the terawatts, so 1 trillion watts. It's not the hourly rate, but I come across this said the sun produces 173,000 terawatts of solar energy. And the whole of the humans use 17.7 terawatts of energy. So in relation to the sun, we are using 1/10,000th of the sun's energy. That's for the whole of all our electrical needs. I thought that was pretty crazy. And those numbers might be completely bullshit too, but it seemed.
So what you're saying, though, is there's no energy crisis? We're all good? Heaps of power.
Yeah, well, just a comparison, like to how much actual energy output the sun is producing in comparison to all of our electrical needs. It's like 1/10,000. So I mean, that's nuts. That's not even including gas or whatever other electrical things we could get from, like generators or whatever else. But anyway, that was it. That was cool.
Yeah, I dropped it in chat, folks. If you want to check it out later, Scientology by South Park. It's about a 3-minute video. It is hilarious. It explains what Scientology actually proclaims in a funny sort of way. But it's, that's what I loved, I should say, because I don't really watch anymore. It got a little too politically correct for me, but South Park, they used to just shoot straight and, they ripped on every religion. Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, I mean, everything. They didn't leave anybody out. But actually, them rip that episode is why Chef left the show, because he was actually a Scientologist in real life, the guy who did Chef's voice. And after they made that episode, he quit the show.
and then they did an episode on him. Or something.
About dying. Joining the Super Adventurers Club or something like that. The group of men that went around and diddled little kids to live forever.
They got him good.
Rough.
Yeah, they did. Those guys are horrible. But yeah, if you need a laugh, Scientology by South Park. It's a good one.
Pretty dead on. Yeah.
And they weren't 747s; they were DC-8s. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Oh, good stuff though. So, didn't Elon pop up in the news again recently about something?
Last I saw, he was going to try to put in the highest bid for that third seat there with Bezos. Maybe he did. That he may be that third seat going up into space with Bezos and his brother. But that was the last I saw. What he was trying to win that auction. But I don't keep up with the news, so he may have cured cancer for all I know. And I'm pretty sure there's a suicide joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to skip it.
So China, the Shenzhou 12 spacecraft docks at the space station with 3 astronauts.
It's not the space station. They docked at a space station.
Yeah, their own space station now.
They're not at the International Space Station.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was
China does the best job of it. I mean, you know, as a comedy, it's the best. It's hilarious, or the worst, depending how you want to look at it. But it's hilarious. I think Level Earth did one with the pen spin, and she's spinning the pen that somehow she's not connected to in any way. She's using this mind power. It's amazing. Chinese people have this mental ability to move pens in space and stuff.
Telekinesis.
Yeah.
And no actual video footage of this thing being built.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course not.
Isn't that amazing?
Not like the ISS. You can see all kinds of hours and hours and hours of footage of them building that, right? Go look at. Oh, wait. Never mind.
Nope, that one just kind of appeared up there too.
Never mind. I don't really see anything. Guys, I got some news here just suddenly popped up. Apparently, Bezos and Musk are out of luck just because Branson is going to beat them both. He's going to make it first.
I saw that. Bezos said he was going to do it July 20th. So Branson said, "Oh, I'm going to do it 4th of July weekend."
4th of July. It's just the best way to celebrate your freedom, buddy. Hop in your spacecraft and fly on out of here. So who's going down first? I think we should have a poll.
Who's going to crash? Start the Deadpool.
Too freaking. I mean, you can't really. If this was a movie plot like 15 or 25 years ago, the people would go like, "You can't really believe that people would buy this story." We get out of our office. But this is the world we're living in.
Ryan Reynolds says, "Just hear me."
And in the future, when people tell this story to their grandchildren, okay, so at one point, billionaires were all going to fly around in their own spacecraft they were building. But wait, nobody ever went to space, Grandpa. Right, baby. But you see, back then, people were dumb.
I always think of it like the idiocracy anyway. It's like we are getting more and more stupid as we go through.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a split that's happening, but the bulk of people are just going downhill.
I think
rapidly,
idiocracy
because there's no logic.
Over 100 years ago, probably. And we are well into, I mean, if you look at these buildings and structures and all these things, these enormous things that were built that we can't build today, we are living in an idiocracy right now. We are. We can't do what the people did before us.
And even more so today, There's no way right now. No way you could possibly even attempt any of this stuff.
No,
It's
this
down to
guy
money.
in Egypt, he just figured out that, hey, with today's cranes, we can't move these blocks. These big, giant, 50-ton megalith stones that they moved hundreds of miles, supposedly 5,000 years ago, before the horse and buggy. They did this. And today, with our cranes and all our tanks and, all this stuff, we can't move something like this.
Well, I'm just going to blame it on the magnetic meat. So you're saying that? How do you like your steak? Oh, medium magnetized, thanks.
Medium rare with the South Pole side up, please.
First, check your palm, and then stick it to the fridge, and then bring it out. I'm ready.
Never. So according to... Oh, go ahead.
We might have some magneto men soon, but they don't have to move metal around. They can be moving stakes around and stuff. Stakeholders.
So National Geographic says, as of 1 day ago, soils from Antarctica seem to contain no life, something that's never been found.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a headline. We found nothing, which we've never found before. Cool. Cool story, bro.
Does that make it positive?
I think it does.
So you found something? Excellent. Cool.
Supposedly 300 miles from the South Pole, where mountains poke through ice that is thousands of feet thick. The soils came from 2 windswept rocky ridges at the interior of Antarctica. The assumption, ting, has always been that microbes are tough. They can live anywhere, said Noah, blah, 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 blah. A microbial, blah, 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 from Boulder, Colorado. Single-celled organisms have been, after all... Whoa. Okay. Single-celled organisms... Single-celled organisms have, after all, been found living in hydrothermal vents over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, alive in lakes trapped beneath half a mile of ice and Antarctica. Bullshit. And also surviving 120,000 feet up into Earth's stratosphere. But after a year of trying, they still have not found any signs of life in some of the Antarctic soils they collected. So some of them? So you're... Yeah. They studied soils from 11 different mountains, representing a wide range of conditions. Those from lower, less frigid mountains contain bacteria and fungi, but in some of those, from the 2, read the rest of the article at blah, 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 piss off.
I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Techno-babble.
Yeah.
Techno-babble. Oh.
So for the first time, they picked up a lump of soil and didn't find microbes in it.
Right. Right.
Yep. I'm not all that excited. But yeah, they're still pumping out the croutons and the lettuce. That's for sure. Notice how they never talk about the North Pole, ever.
Oh, yeah. that's
Everybody
like,
wants Antarctica.
Who's the explorer? Who's the explorer who was talking about Antarctica and there's way more land?
Bird.
Admiral Byrd.
Right, Admiral Byrd, right, yeah. North Pole? Oh, yeah, nothing to explore there.
Yeah, no, it's getting crowded.
Yeah.
There's a lot of activity.
No, I think there's some shit going on right there. Right there.
Wasn't his diary supposed to have been from his North Pole expeditions?
Yep.
Yep, going in. Yep.
The one that his son happened to find weeks after his
Nothing there.
death?
Or he went to the center of the Earth.
Yeah.
The hollow Earth one. Yep.
Speaking of, I'll make sure to include in the show description picture a picture that I had uncovered 5 or 6 years ago looking for clues to where we live that shows the hole at the North Pole. Not a hole, an anomaly, not what the fuck's this hole? It's not, oh my God, a hole. No, the hole at the North Pole, nonchalantly, as if it's just a known thing. I'll include that for you guys. Go look up ESA 7, I believe it was. ESSA-7.
I do believe that's correct, sir.
You won't find anything, probably, but you can try.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. That video that they show of the North Pole with looks like a huge storm, but
hey,
it's
it's
all
back.
Sucked down into the Earth. It's not coming out of the Earth. It's all it looks like a toroidal field, like a vortex.
Mm. That's actually what I assume is at the center.
Yeah,
in terms of what I think's going on. I mean, this is a torus field, and that's exactly where that would be. How
it's like 1980s grainy VHS video, but it doesn't look like something they could have faked back then. But again, their technology is way more advanced than what we get to see, so I don't know. But something about it kind of rings true whenever I see that video. I've only seen it a few times. It's even hard to find.
Well, I think a lot of people expected to see that exact thing in that video. A huge hole, something so big that as you sailed, you might not even notice you were sailing into this gigantic hole. It may look like a still flat surface as you sailed off down into this gigantic hole at the North Pole. I think as it was described in Bird's Diary. But yeah, everybody would just sort of expect that all that energy and chaos and a lot of stuff to be happening in this big gigantic vortex of a hole right there at the North Pole. Can I give a big shout out there to Ispy Nasalies in chat? I think it's her fault, really, that I've been having to buy and subsequently break and then replace with buying another one of these glass rigs here. I mean, I'd done a couple dabs before. Not a big deal. I was thoroughly unimpressed. But my wife, I don't think, had really gotten that far into it. But while passing through in her trip across the country, Candy left a little present for us when she stayed. And I don't believe we've really been without some sort of crumble or diamond or something on hand, and a glass rig that I will buy and break and subsequently have to replace. So thanks, Candy. It's all your fault. But shout out. Love you, miss you. Hope you're doing absolutely wonderfully. And shout out to everybody there in chat. There's a whole big pile of folks. Good to see everybody there this morning.
Yeah, love y'all.
Beautiful song.
And I think I said I'd do it. So we can probably open up the phone lines, though we've only got about 8 minutes before we hit the halfway point. So if we do open them up, we may not. I'll tell you what, I will open them up and we'll just let folks pile in should they so desire. And maybe we'll just get to them and start taking the calls at the top of the hour on the other side of the break. And we'll just open up the phone lines now. That way everybody's got it. And actually, they've been open the whole time. I just never bothered to throw it up there to let folks know that they could call. But they are open. Feel free. We will be taking phone calls on the other side of the break.
So if you don't mind, real quick, I went looking, as everybody also as well. There are a lot of folks in chat, Michael, and sorry, I'm on another page, so I can't see who else it was. But yeah, now you can go find these pictures. Now, I remembered this photograph when somebody started talking about that video I think maybe when that video came out that has that weird that weird energy vortexy weirdness occurring that's supposed to be the North Pole. So I went looking for this picture back then in relation to that idea. Couldn't find it. Now it's all over the place, including one from ESA 3, which I didn't know about, which shows a bigger variant of the hole at the North Pole. Now, both of these photographs look pretty fucking flat and disc-like, kind of nutly, kind of crazily, including some grid lines that are not natural looking at all. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is it's supposed to be. I'll include them in the show description. But it all seems to be pointing around to the hollow Earth theory now is where it all seems to be kind of lumped into. Because there's also some other pictures with the ball in place with its little navel orange hole at the top. So
yeah, the one I was talking about, I just dropped it in chat. It's from the Mir satellite, which Robert Pistano did a great video on showing how these are balloon satellites. These, according to NASA and ESA, these are balloons that are relaunched every so many months. The Mir, they even say it, the Mir blah, 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 balloon launch, this and that. He's gone through all, dug through all this crap, just pages and pages and pages, and found out, hey, look, the Mir satellite was supposedly sent up on this date. Funny, they launched a balloon called the Mir on this date. Yeah, and he just linked them all together, how all these supposed satellites that, are well-known, Hubble, Mir, things like that, are actually, on paper, called balloon satellites. And that one from the Mir is crazy that I shared. It shows that giant vortex, like this energy being sucked down into the North Pole. And you don't look like you're, in space where these satellites are supposed to be. It looks like a high altitude shot. You can even still see it's not like you see a black background, like you're up in space seeing a black background. I'm not saying it's real, but it's pretty mesmerizing to look at. Okay, I got to turn it off. I'm just sitting here staring at it now. Sorry.
Yeah, is that not a video loop though? It looks like a loop, man. I've been playing with video editing a while now, playing around and stuff. That's not just a looped video that goes back and then forth and then back. Like somebody's trying to make it look like it's.
It might be, yeah. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's legit or anything like that. It's just a neat. I get like mesmerized when I stare at it. And it looks old, that looks like VHS, somebody up there with a camcorder recording it. I don't know. But yeah, that's the one that always blew my mind when I saw it.
Yeah, I had not seen it since it came out, like whenever it was, a few years back, 2 or 3 years ago. Interesting. So yeah, we'll share that maybe this afternoon with everybody on our actual video show.
Yeah, I dropped it in chat for everybody to go take a look at. You could actually do it during break if you want. It's only a minute long.
And break's only 3 minutes away.
Yeah.
Less than.
That's a photograph, isn't it? That's just a photograph, though. And it's a minute long photograph, isn't it? That's the one I just saw. Is that the link you put in there?
Yeah. No, I put in a video. It's a video.
Of a photograph?
No, it's video. Yeah. Okay, I'm watching it again.
He's got the video in the chat. I'll drop it for you here. And
yeah,
maybe
they're
I'll
saying
include.
it's from the Mir, but if you watch the video, it's definitely from a capsule, someone looking through a window.
Ah, yeah, right.
So yeah, I don't know. Oh no, the Mir space station.
That was going to be my next Yeah.
Okay, I gotta quit watching. Yeah, the music gets me and everything. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I'm just sitting here.
I was thinking about the center too. I mean, that if you're thinking about optics and stuff, if you're looking through an energetic vortex as well, what are you going to see? You know, if you're looking down the center of a magnet too, you know, depending on the viewer, what are you going to see? A void.
Mm-hmm.
So as a magnetic center, it depends how high you are, balloon high. What are you going to see? Just that layers going down. So it could be just you might not see it when you're there, or you probably, but you'd be seeing through a vortex. So it's like literally a black hole. There's your black hole.
Stephen Hawking was right.
Like the computer. AI, you mean? Yeah.
Well, the real Stephen Hawking was actually a flat earther. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Yeah, when he graduated from one of the two, he went to two different universities. He got his degree in physics first, and then his degree in astrophysics. While he was getting that is when he got into his chair. But while he was becoming a physicist, he came up with a flat universe theory. He said we live between two flat surfaces, one hot beneath and one cold above. And we live on the crust that is formed in between them. He showed a petri dish filled with water with little islands poking out of it.
Hold that thought, Zach.
2, 1.
Truth Frequency Radio is your number one source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
A military base on lockdown. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Officials at Joint Base San Antonio in Texas have been investigating reports that two suspected shooters fired shots from off base, then fled on foot. There are no injuries reported. They're working with San Antonio police to clear the area and search for the shooters. President Biden just landing in England to begin his first foreign trip as president, 3 countries in 8 days and 3 summits with the G7, NATO, and Russia's president, telling reporters before he left this morning it's about strengthening alliances.
This is a high-stakes trip to Europe in which President Biden will be watched closely and assessed on how he manages to unite the G7 and NATO partners and rebuild alliances that have frayed in recent years.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Meantime, the president reportedly plans to announce a plan to buy 500 million more doses of COVID vaccine to share with the world. It wasn't about the photo op. That's the conclusion in a new government report that says President Trump's picture at a historic D.C. church was not the reason protesters were forcibly cleared from a park near the White House.
The Interior Department's Inspector General says U.S. Park Police removed crowds protesting the death of George Floyd so that a contractor could get started installing new fencing. About 30 minutes after police used pepper pellets and flashbangs. Then President Trump walked across Lafayette Park to deliver a short speech in front of St. John's Church while holding a Bible. The watchdog report found the clearing of the park was justified, but that law enforcement agencies failed to communicate adequately with each other and did not give sufficient warnings to protesters.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland at the White House. A Trump-era rule that narrowed the types of waterways qualifying for federal protection is now formally under review. The Biden administration filing legal action. The former president said the rules imposed unnecessary burdens on business. America is listening to Fox News.
you are. Make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. Here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet.
Tell me things, internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school in your hand. Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
All right, ramblers, let's get rambling.
Well, pitter patter, let's get at her.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Shout out to Lucas, who had to bail for his daughter's 9th birthday. But we are joined by our good friend, Callum Wilkinson. Callum, Special K, as Walter likes to call him.
He's special to us for damn sure. Well, I am like going down so many rabbit holes now that I've dug into this satellite photo. So I'll stop that, Zach. Thank you.
Sorry.
Just trying to source that video and try to backtrack it. And there's lots of debate on its authenticity. And some people say it's from a movie. And some people are like, okay, what movie? And I'm like, yeah, show me. I don't see it anywhere. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, I was trying to look for Stephen Hawking's, it was a PBS article actually. And I made a video about it. I think it was back in 2016. And I went to go show someone the article a few months later and it was gone. And the only place I can find it now is on my YouTube channel. I don't know where else. I've looked and looked and looked and scoured the internet. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Some search engine might bring it up, but yeah, I cannot find it anymore.
I've had that with so much stuff where I've needed to help someone or whatnot. I know exactly where it came from. I know what to search for, all of that, because it's still there. But when I go and it's not there, can't find it or whatever, I go and search it and it's just gone. A lot of the information's just gone. Hope it's not.
It's amazing how they can scrub it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been happening for a while too. As the technology gets better, it's better scrubbing, And it's not a very hard thing to do. It's not a very hard thing to do at all because it's the crawlers that crawl it and list everything, and it's just delete. That's all it is.
Yeah, they see
a lot of health stuff. Actually, I've noticed. Like a heap of health stuff. And so I started collecting some of the old PDFs and books I can still get, downloading that. It was only a few years ago I sort of recognized the pattern and went, oh shit, I really have to download and archive stuff myself now.
I went and bought a whole bunch of books. Just a bunch of how-to books on alchemy and making medicine and living off the land. Because even if you have them downloaded, if they turn off the electricity, it's just a paperweight there. all that information is locked in that little box and you can't get to it. So that's why I went and bought books on, and not just one book per topic, but multiple books per topic. Yeah, I probably spent a couple grand on books while I was building up my little library. All from it was a survivalist shop called Ready or Not. And it was two ex-military Army, a man and a woman. I think they were just engaged. They weren't married yet. And I would go there at least once a week and hang out for like 2 hours and just shoot the shit with these people and learn as much as I could, just absorb, and it was cool because other people would come in and they would just sit there and start talking. One weekend I remember we talked about tourniquets for like an hour and a half with this EMT buddy of his and stuff like that. Yeah, I learned so much information at that place. Now it's gone, of course. They went out of business. But yeah, if you can find a little place like that where there's some people there with some knowledge that are willing to share, just go hang out. I did spend a lot of money there, but even on the weekends when I didn't spend money, they were more than happy to hang out, and just chat about everything. And then you get to know them real well and you get to start buying things that they don't sell to everybody, That's when it gets fun. I'll just stop right there.
We had, I can't remember what it was called. It's like a surplus store, an army surplus store here.
Yep.
But that was a while ago, and that was like when you're a little tacker too. It's the coolest place in the world. And it's camping because I grew up camping too, and that's the place that had it all. Now it's a huge thing, or you get the same stuff from Bunnings or a huge factory or whatnot. But it was always cool people, and I always was talking to adults when I was really young as well. I always just related better to adults. And so I kind of had the same experiences as that, but just probably a lot younger. But it was always like buying knives and all sorts of stuff, for camping. Field manuals, that was the other one too. Field manuals and duffel bags.
Yeah, they had all that. I have a couple, not for sale, Army issued one survival. It's just called survival. And then I have a couple more. One is called Unconventional Warfare Incendiary Device or something like that. Unconventional Warfare Devices. And they all have the military code on top and this and that. And yeah, they're, man, packed with information. Just so much stuff. Did you know in Vietnam, when we were over there, they show how to make guns like the Vietnamese were using. It's a pipe with a nail into a board on this little lever thing, and they just hold the pipe and point in the direction. They stick a round in there and pull this thing back and let it go. And that was their gun that they started with.
Oh, that's what it needs to be. Really, like the simplest it could be. It's like mortar. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just little things like that. It's amazing what, a person defending their home can actually win a battle with this way, way less advanced, than what the militaries are.
You got my mind swimming now. Like one of my favorite books growing up was Flashes, Bangs, and Puffs of Smoke by Mickey Rourke or something. And it's because I was a magician, and somehow I got this book, and it shows you how to make flash paper, like
that's awesome.
Smoke pots, concussion pots, everything. I got this really young. I actually photocopied it, so I always have it because it was the old. It's the chemical processes and everything as well. It was literally how you do everything. And it's fireworks as well. It had the whole gamut of things in there, so I could literally turn whatever into Now, I used to go canoeing on this small little lake in sort of claypan sort of area, but there was trees at this point. And we used to take the soda bombs you get for charging cream and stuff.
Right.
And yes, sparklers, and you just break it up and put it in there, put another sparkler in, wrap it in alfoil and light her up. Or we used to put them in paddy melons and just send them floating on the lake. And when it exploded, I mean, these are quite full-on explosions, not recommended anyway. But doing it on the water, where it just, it was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. On the boat.
Kids don't try this at home.
Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to set up a fake war or something as well, like that's the sort of sound effects and stuff you just set off here and there to make people freak the hell out, you know.
Yeah,
And
we
it's
did
so
that.
easy to do.
We were making black powder pipe bombs, and we were using steel pipe, just dumb. And we thought we made a little one, you know. It looked like a little bit bigger than an M80. Not little by any means, but small compared to what we usually made. And my buddy thought, hey, I'll throw it out on the ice on a lake. And he threw that out there, and we're sitting. I was pretty far away. And as soon as that thing exploded, you could hear like shrapnel flying through the air over our heads through the trees. And that's when we started laying down some ground rules. About where we're blowing things up and, you know, line of sight and things like that. Like, yeah, if you can see it, then you shouldn't be lighting it off right now and exploding it.
We became health and safety officers at that point. Yeah.
The last one we did, it was like a 2-inch pipe, like 8 inches long, big one. And we set it off before school in one of those big 55-gallon drums, you know, the big, thick plastic that they have at like parks and stuff like that. Well, we had tipped it over and put it on it. It was empty. So we tipped it over upside down and put it over the bomb. The thing flew up so high it hit a light post. It hit the light of the light post it was under. It took off like a rocket. It was awesome. But the cops came, and yeah, we could see them from the other side of the lake. Yeah, because the school was right on the other side of the lake, and there was a park over there next to the school, and then it was connected by a suspension bridge to this park on the other side. And we blew it up in the park on the other side, and then just drove around and went into school. And yeah, by the time we got to school, there was cops all over, and yeah.
Rocket science, baby.
Easy.
Yeah, a little bit of black powder. I still got all my flanges.
Turn the drum upside down and then put your firework in, as long as it's sort of a concussion firework or whatever. And there's your sound. All that energy goes to sound.
And I was amazed at how high that thing went. I wouldn't have believed you if you would have told me until I saw it happen. But yeah,
the first time we did the paddy melons, it was like, you know, bang, and then it was wait, and it was like a minute afterwards the paddy melon started raining down. Just like the amount of force and stuff, like calculating and stuff, just bizarre. Not rocket science.
I'm just making a coffee. I'll be right back.
And I'm looking at pictures of paddy melons for my show description. So
it's the most fun thing you can do with a paddy melon.
Yeah, I can see it would be amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, we never blew up. Maybe we did a watermelon one time with a couple of M80s, but we liked watermelon too much to waste it. We always found good ones and ate them. We didn't blow them apart. And, you know, we had too many Barbie dolls laying around with all the sisters and cousins we had that became war victims. So yeah, we didn't need
Cut off their heads.
Right, dude. See how many body parts can fly in how many directions. Oh yeah, the good old days of losing fingers and yeah. I really truly never knew anyone who got seriously injured with fireworks, but I knew a lot of people that got freaking hurt with fireworks. Either, their hand was numb for 2 or 3 days when a Roman candle went off in it, or somebody kicked over the wrong bottle rocket and it hit them in the head, or, but like I said, no serious energy, no eyes lost, no fingers blown
Same
off.
here. I only knew of older people telling me stories about it.
Right. Well, that was back when fireworks were M80s. That's, an M80, that's half a stick, dude. You'll lose a hand. So, yeah. But by the time
I
we got
remember setting
into
one upside down, actually. It was a fireball one set upside down. And it went down and flat out. It just shot around and went for everyone. Every single person. I learned from that one to check, and you'd never do it again.
Even as recent, right? Even as recent as probably the mid 2000s, I would guess, with some buddies of mine. We had a big field, and my son and his son, and everybody was having a blast. And he lit the mortar thing, and you have it sitting there, and you put the big round ball and light the long fuse and walk away or run away. And as he runs away, it tipped over, and there was no time for him to get back to it to get it back up right. So he just kind of ran, and we all waited to see which way it would bounce. It was like, yeah, a little extra excitement for everybody. You just never know what's going to happen. So take a warning, kids.
We had so many of those 3-inch mortars and the giant bottle rockets that weren't on like a little twig stick. They were like on a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch
piece of wood. Right.
But,
I know the ones you're talking
3-foot stick. Yeah. And we used to take those apart and find out, how they worked. And we'd take the rockets off of them, and we'd get a PVC pipe and tape like 5 or 6 rockets around the outside to try to, make it go higher. But the weight we never got them to go up. They would hover a little bit, and then they just explode like 5 feet off the ground. We had a lot of fun though, taking that stuff apart. But my buddy's mom, she didn't like me, because that's when we started hanging out was, hey, let's take apart all these, fireworks and see if we don't kill ourselves. So yeah, that coming over meant we're playing with explosives, and yeah.
I do have to ask you, sir, I do see a variety of them. Either, I guess, it's different stages of ripeness or growth. But at one stage, I'm seeing like spiny things coming out of the rind of some of these patty melons. Is that what you're talking about? Or is it more? You've added an extra layer of danger to the whole thing with that. Nice.
And they get really hard too.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, shrapnel. Fucking A. Love it. I'll share this picture with
better
you.
than a bit of steel pipe coming past your head. But there is shards that as well, because of the bowl. And that's the other thing I was thinking about when Zach was talking about the first gun, right? Where it's just a tube. Well, oh yeah, I used to do that as well. And you put those soda bombs down.
Right.
Yeah.
Here, I'm sharing it with everybody in chat.
And you can make free now.
Wow, that's a big link. I didn't realize. Yeah, well, look at what this nut guy was doing back in the day. That thing is dangerous there. You just lob one of those at somebody, and you'll take them out, let alone add explosives to the mix. Oh, my goodness. I thought
we've got no snow to throw at each other.
Right. There you go. You have to make do with what you have. Oh, man. All right, I'll stop playing with pictures. I apologize.
That's the one.
I apologize. Well, Josh, at one point you mentioned opening the lines up, and at one point Zach mentioned us giving away an app. If we combine those two things,
I'm not ready to give an app away. Liz seems to be having issues. I don't think hers
is
the
she
first.
having issues? I
think
didn't
so.
realize. I apologize, Liz. I surely missed it.
I've got to reach out to David Weiss
Today and see what's going on with the codes.
Yeah, see if we can't. Apparently, it's a Apple thing too, and iOS seems to be the issue.
Maybe we have a specific code for only a certain system.
Well, the
I'm
codes,
not sure.
you see, and that's what kind of threw me off is he gave me a bunch of codes for Androids, and for Apples, he gave me a link to a YouTube video, which I thought was interesting. So,
well, we'll have to reach out to David. I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize for bringing it up then.
But the lines are open. The lines have been open. I thought I may have seen somebody on there, but it's hard to say. It's like I thought I saw maybe somebody drop off, but I never saw anybody on there to begin with, so it would be strange, and it was just like a weird movement out of the corner of my eye. So, I don't know. Oh, we do have an interesting piece of advice here, though. Exactly. That which doesn't kill you makes you stronger, says Stephen Hawking, who died from a degenerative disease.
So, tantalizing Pluto views suggests an active.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Right. I thought you were having a stroke.
I was anything. Get that man a wallet under his tongue. I was trying to bless you. Anything I could do for that.
Smell burnt toast. He's having a
so
bubble.
it's saying we won't see this surface feature again for 161 years. Because, okay, wait. For a brief moment in time, July 2018. So when was this thing written? 23 hours ago. Okay. The solar system aligned to show Earth the fully sunlit disk of Pluto, an arrangement that won't occur again for 161 years. Now, Pluto is on the outside of us, right? So don't we always see it
Pluto
fully
is
lit?
within.
But not full ring lit. Usually it's partial ring because the part that's the middle part, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it's a round object because I can't say that it is that. It's definitely a lit up object, and it does have a ring around it, and that ring is usually obscured by that middle object in the background. But apparently it's full on, the rings around it like this, like you can see that on the radio. It's all around the thing. I don't know. I'm assuming. Send me the link because I don't see the story.
Yeah, I mean, don't we go in between Pluto and the sun every year, and we would see it lit like a full moon? We would see 50% of it lit up,
but not the ring
every single year. There's a ring of Pluto. I didn't even. What?
I think you're thinking of Saturn, Walter. Saturn has
This is Mandela. I'd never heard about a ring.
I thought you said rings. I apologize.
No, it just says you can see it 50% lit. Like, okay, let me read that again. Show Earth, yeah. The fully sunlit disk of Pluto. They even call it a disk.
Disk. Okay, that's what you said. I heard ring and went with it, and then I was on Saturn. My apologies. Because I'm actually trying to pull up pictures to show you what I'm talking about. So I'll stop looking for those pictures.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to say if Pluto's even real either. Like, I haven't seen any pictures.
Well, it's not a planet.
Pluto.
It got downgraded.
Yeah.
Not according to Jerry Smith.
I mean, I've seen Pluto, the Disney character.
Who is he, your neighbor?
Interesting word, though, disk.
Who the fuck is Jerry Smith?
Pluto's a fucking planet. That's Morty's dad.
Oh, all right.
From Rick and Morty. Yeah. He called NASA because him and Morty were building a solar system for his science project. He's like, we can use a ping pong ball for Pluto. And Morty's like, I don't think Pluto's a planet, Dad. He's like, well, of course Pluto's a planet. He's like, nope, I Googled it, 2006, right here. Pluto isn't a planet anymore. He's like, well, I heard that. I know that. NASA says it's not a planet. I say it is. Sometimes science, isn't always, people argue in science and blah, 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 blah. So the Plutonians heard this. They were monitoring NASA's phone calls. So they took Jerry up to Pluto and they said, we have one of Earth's top scientists. Tell him what you think, Jerry. And he's like, Pluto's a planet? Pluto's a fucking planet. And everybody starts screaming and cheering. I guess you have to see it. It's funny. Yeah. But yeah, they're saying a fully sunlit disk. So every time
it is a very strange word. Why would you use disk? Why on earth use disk?
And they're saying it's this rare sight that doesn't happen.
Happens every year.
Oh, now they're throwing Pluto's moon into it. The result is an enigmatic plot of light from Pluto and its moon, Charon. Okay, so now you're seeing Pluto's moon. Yeah, sure.
Science for you.
And then they have like a cartoon animation. It's not even like CGI. It looks worse than Disney.
Pluto and its moon got their arms around each other. Check us out. We're in the spotlight.
Tickle-fi. Oh, wow. Last break coming up in
Believe it or not, we have done it.
Seconds. If you listen closely, you can actually hear the break music. Anyway, this is the Ironworks. Stick around for the fourth and final coming up right after these messages. Josh, Walt, Zach, and everybody, Callum.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio makes you want to move. When you have a great melody, a song will last forever.
Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes.
Did you know you can listen to Truth Frequency Radio on iHeartRadio? Just download the app to your smart car, smartphone, or smart TV and get the best of TFR wherever you are.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the Paranormal Portal if you dare.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
We're up pretty high, our heads are almost in the clouds, and their feet are chained to the ground with their chains of misery. They've got a hold of me, they won't let go of me. Let go of me. They might have gravity on their side, but something's pulling us high. Got the potential to fly. Don't let them be what holds you back from this one incredible chance. They're lucky to have had a glance at you while you defy gravity. They can be cruel and mean, and a smile can be the sign they're missing out on their rainy day. They might have gravity on their side, but something.
Well, that lets you know just how old that little sound clip is.
Well, I was wondering where you dug that up out of the dredges. That was probably the first version of that song that was ever made with the video, and then we all went, "Hey, that's a pretty cool song."
I know. Where was the? I was singing. I was like, they said, wait, what?
The original version of that song, not the original version, just that song came with a basically an app I got that could do some on the phone editing that was not really available to any of the phones I had at the time or tablets or anything. It was kind of early day thing. And I was a beta tester for the app, and it had access to music that would be licensed for me to use wherever I wanted to and get around a lot of the copyright shit from our favorite little friends at Alphabet. So when I made a video, it, just used that song because I liked the little boom. I had no clue what the lyrics said. It was just a good song for the video I was doing at the time. Something about like people sticking to the inside of a ring of a like carnival ride and other things that kind of showed, that gravity really wasn't exactly what we thought it was. And the song happened to be called Gravity. And then it just went from there. So that first video that he pulled that from is probably, that has to be it, the first video. And it just edited it on its own. It wasn't something I did. It was kind of a thing it did with the song, maybe to make it short for that clip I made. I don't remember. That was like early beta testing.
Early. Yeah, that was like the AI emotional response for.
Oh, that's right.
Music.
I was building it off your stuff and it was spooky sometimes. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like it would go into your camera roll and like whoever you took the most pictures of, if they were featured in that video, the video would lock on them and just crazy shit like that. Yeah. I'd forgotten that. Oh, wow. Yeah. Early days when we were like, oh, yeah, phone, have my life, play away. Agree.
AI was learning.
It learned a lot off my shit, I can tell you. So,
that I heard the other day too. It's like what we do with technology. We showed it ourselves. We showed all of big tech, all of ourselves, and that information is just like, oh, buy, sell.
Right.
Until they know us better than we know ourselves now.
I saw an article go by. It's probably there. I'm not sure. I'll go see. But it basically said that they've created an AI now they can't release. It's too dangerous to release it. Y'all haven't watched any of the movies I've watched, I can tell. Let me show you a couple.
Is it named Skynet?
Mean anything to you? Right? That's what I'm saying. Oh, man.
Yeah, I just watched something recently that said they had released Skynet recently.
So did I.
Did you see this?
Alexa is on Skynet now.
Yep. That's
Siri.
Oh.
Yep. They're all connected now and connected up to some AI, this or that, monitoring, blah, 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 super duper computer.
Yeah, well,
not just super, it's like super duper.
Just coincidentally called Skynet.
Well, I was calling that Starlink Skynet. Now I'm going to have to change it, or is it the same thing? I think it's just part of the same network.
That's all connected. You're in it, buddy. You're in it.
There's going to be too many balloons up there soon. You have to keep releasing them. Unless they've got that technique down, they're just surfing on the waves in the just right altitude. I wonder how long they can stay up there, because at some point, what goes up must come down, and they've just got to set up another balloon.
Yep, until they realize there's a helium shortage, and now all the clowns are effed because it's going to make making balloon animals so much harder.
They go for plastic bags. Go forever.
Well,
I thought I've seen UFOs, but they're just plastic bags. A lot. I've seen heaps of them.
Aren't they about to crack open the ozone layer again? We finally fixed the hole in the ozone layer, right? We had to fix it because I haven't heard about it in a long fucking time.
30 years.
At least, I mean, that got fixed, right? Science.
Well, we got rid of Aquanet.
Right, we got rid of Aquanet. They sent up the planes to chemtrail the sky, and so they fixed the ozone layer. But it looks like your boy and his train of satellites. Is it? Yeah, Starlink. That's the one they're bitching about. Is gonna just tear a new hole,
crack it,
tear the earth a new one, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
I just find these names of these people just like it's like really rubbing it in, or it's a massive joke. It has to be.
Wait, what am I reading?
Lone scum, Mark Zuckerberg. Like really? Mark,
okay, wait a minute.
Mark Zuckerberg. I thought.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. So this is telling me that we have five. Wait, now there are about 5,000 active. I thought we had like 30,000. Oh, hey, I'm so confused. There are about 5,000 active and defunct satellites in low Earth orbit, with over 40,000 Starlink satellites planned in the future. Okay. I thought we had a massive tonnage of stuff running into each other. Like, didn't we just lose an arm off one of our space?
That first time it was like 40,000 or something. That reminds me of. No, it was about 30,000. It's probably 33,000. The last time I checked, like how much space junk was years ago.
So apparently we have 54 tons. That's TONNES. But for normal people, that's 60 tons. I'm being silly. Of meteoroid material coming in every day. This is from lead study author Aaron Boley over there at space.com. Oh, no, he told this to space.com. Man, I'm so confused with this article because it's not on space.com. That's why I'm so confused. With the first generation of Starlink, we can expect about 2.2 tons of dead satellites re-entering Earth's atmosphere daily. Let me read that to you again. With the first generation of Starlink, we can expect 2.2 tons, that's the normal one without the extra N or the E, of dead satellites. That's just flying into your head daily. That's what they're saying.
So this is.
But they break up into
in
little
the prophecy.
pieces, and it comes down as dust, so we don't even notice.
Yeah, it's mostly aluminum, so we'll be fine. Just a little extra layer of aluminum flying down on us. They put enough up
And
there
that'll-
to probably block it.
That'll be the sky falling in, sky caving.
But wait, aluminum is the key to everything at stake here. First, it burns into reflective aluminum oxide, or aluminum, which could turn into an unwitting geoengineering experiment that could alter Earth's climate. Oh my God. Somebody get Bezos on the phone while he's up there getting his superpowers. I'm just saying, he could fix all this.
So are they trying to say the aluminum in the soil and all this stuff that's been happening for over a decade is from Starlink satellites now?
And rivers. It's
Yeah.
quite high aluminium content in rivers.
No, what they're saying is that after the Starlink satellites, it's the
Starts
Starlink
falling.
satellites they're going to cause the aluminum. Not before. That doesn't make any sense, Zach. The aluminum's obviously there. But now that the Starlink is there, now that's what's going to cause the aluminum in the soil in the rivers, is because of the Starlink satellite.
They do take credit for a lot of stuff, I tell you.
I can't make this stuff up.
They can. Oh my
They
God.
can.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep enough. I couldn't sleep at night if I tried spilling this stuff off as truth.
It spins your head.
Try eating a salad while you trim, Zach. Just saying.
I mean, I spent I don't know how much time trying to put their model, the globe model, with everything spinning, and you're adding one on the next. Okay, I've got this together now. I've got these bodies moving. It's like the confusion, and it keeps you spinning. It literally keeps you spinning in your head. That's where ignorance comes in too, because it's too hard to think about at stage. So,
well, yeah, you're trying to
that's your choice.
of nonsense. You know, you're in your brain to try and make sense of something that makes no sense. It's
and that gut instinct too of it. It's too hard. I mean, you can see that in people's faces when they screw up. It's like, you're not thinking there. You're pushing it away. So you're waiting for that. It's like when you're twisting the truth. There's only two ways to go: the truth or you're twisting. Like if someone said, "Do something wrong," like look what we're in now, the situation we're in now, and you're a good person, and someone tells you to do something wrong, you have to keep your job or something to do. Oh. So when you do, there's only two choices there. You're either going to go, "No, this is wrong," or I'm going to do this, but I'm going to twist the truth so my body can allow it. Right. So I can actually do this thing, like whatever wrong thing it is. So at that point, you are making that twist. You're ignoring the truth and twisting. So any story that makes somewhat sense, as you could relay a message, that's what gets. And then you're like that from there on. That's programming. You programmed yourself, and then you're like that from there on. So it's very, very hard to take apart that programming because they've done it to themselves. It's the strongest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it becomes survival. But because
and
it is
comfort. I mean, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's comfort when they go down those same neural pathways back to the same little home of everything's fine or whatever.
It's safe. Yeah.
Yep. Very safe.
But it literally is a fear and flight response. So once you've gotten rid of that by ignoring, now you're safe again. And it's literally psychosis. Like this is how we develop beliefs. This is how we get beliefs and stuff as well. It's like I was talking to Mum the other day. It's like going on about the placebo, but I said to her, one of the most important things you're forgetting here is there's also a nocebo effect.
Right.
Which is, I believe this doesn't work. So, like, it's the same with medicine stuff. I'm taking something which I believe doesn't work. It's not going to work, or it's going to be very minimally,
Yeah. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. The nocebo effect with my garden. If the gentleman who made the Back to Eden permaculture video, great video if you haven't seen it, if he didn't tell me that my first couple years weren't going to be good because the soil hasn't been broken down enough and this and that, and if he didn't tell me that, would that be taking place right now? Am I making that happen because I'm expecting it to happen? Is that why it's acting that way? And
but
not
there's the beauty in that. Like, you don't know until it happens. So you put yourself in, like, that's the other choice you can make. Like, this person's telling me this, but if you're conscious and aware enough to go, that's interesting, I don't know. You remain in a childlike state where you just see what is. Whatever happens now, you're building your knowledge, and it's got nothing to do with belief there as well. It's like releasing that nocebo is a belief. So you get rid of that belief. You're actually letting go of something and going back to
I've been trying.
Right. Y'all have kind of made me wonder now, because I've kind of thought of it always in that way of consciousness guiding, being aware of the world, the universe, whatever, being grateful ahead of time, making it happen, attraction, all of those things. But what if, because we've become aware, we've kind of woken up to a point now where we can't just do it subconsciously. And what they do, and by they, I'm talking about the sheeple, is they're so enmeshed in the fucking lies and the bullshit stories that they're just creating it all the time so flawlessly, because it's what they want, it's what they've been shown, it's what they've been sold, it's what they've been taught, it's what they've been swallowing since birth. So that's why things are so fucking crazy now. Why we can't fucking shake them out of that fucking stupor they're in. It's because they're creating it just as like pure essence of who they are, and that's what they're creating without even knowing it. While we're trying to consciously change it, alter it, fix it, save it, help it, whatever word you want to use. So we're not unconsciously doing it anymore. We become too conscious of it. So when we let go, when we do that focus and that meditation and shut up the monkey for a minute and let it all go and start that unconscious creating, the flow, that's when we can connect back to what they're just doing all the fucking time. That's what they've keyed into. That's that home they're in, is just, this is the world we're in, consumerism and idiot fuckery, and just go with the flow. And I can vote and change it, and I can fix the sun by spraying shit in the sky. And I don't know, just.
Are you done bitching yet?
No.
For
What's
real.
up, lady?
Oh.
Hey.
Good morning, Candy.
Hi, Candy.
How you doing?
Are up right and early.
What's up, lady? I miss you.
Been a
How you
long
been?
time. I've been great.
That's what we like to hear. I'm glad you're doing so well.
66.6 miles away from me.
Isn't that crazy?
That
I
was
thought it
nuts.
was a joke. Like I said, do you know the very next person that I looked up to see? Well, my friend lives in I can't remember what part of Michigan it is now for some reason, but it doesn't matter. I checked to see how far away it was from me. You'll never believe it. It was 666 miles away. I could not. I said, "There's no way. That's like 2 in a row." That's like unheard of.
Yeah, I don't know if you should come visit or not after hearing that.
Just make sure you bring a young priest and an old priest.
I always see those things as excellent things. When they happen in your own life and stuff, these numbers are not evil at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I look at numbers like when things line up like that, it's like in cycles, when cycles line up with the stars, with everything. It's the same with numbers. So when you 11, 11, 22, 22, these numbers line up for you, that's the message.
Something's going on with that for sure.
Yeah.
You're in a good spot.
Yeah, I've been studying numerology.
Oh, sweet.
Pretty interesting.
I was talking to someone just yesterday about numerology. Sorry?
It's amazing. I'm totally obsessed with the number 9.
9. The God number.
Number 9. Number 9.
The end.
Number 9.
And the beginning.
Number 9.
Yeah, I always was obsessed with it because I was a Beatles fanatic when I was younger. I still have a shirt that I bought.
So that was what you were just singing?
Yeah. But the shirt is, I got it when I was 17 years old, and I still have it today. Still wear it. It's
wow.
my because it's a real thick, heavy material, so it's lasted. But it's got paint all. It's one of my work shirts now. But yeah, it's got a 9 that's like sewn onto the front. It's not like a stenciled on, or it's like a big patch. So it's lasted the time. But yeah, I've had it for oh my goodness, 25 years now.
Wow.
That's my number 9.
Number 9 is fascinating. There's a lot of things about number 9 I never knew. And it would be cool to teach kids in school these things. It's weird that they don't.
It was it was a weapon for me when I was in mathematics growing up, because teachers don't teach you, like, you know, how to check your answers. They don't teach you how to check your answers. Their way of checking answers is just do the sum again. Do it the same way, exactly again. But if I get a different one, we'll do it again the same way. And then it's an odds game. It's like, well, that's not very mathematically correct at all. Like, it's not very scientific at all as well. But with number 9, I knew I could reduce everything back before the 11 sign, the equals sign. So whatever, so 3 or 30 plus 9 equals 39. And you can go, 39 is 9 plus 3, which is 12, which is 3. No? So that reduces to 3, and then you've got 30 and 9, so that you can just cancel out the 0 and cancel out the 9. So that's my secret weapon. And 3 equals 3. Yes, it's balanced. It's a balanced equation. It's correct. You're checking your answers, but you're doing it in another method. So when you can do it that way, you know that you've got it correct. But like that was something I just did without even knowing I was doing it. So I knew the numbers were correct. I think it was grade 10 or something. It just went into some crazy mathematics, and I gave up. I said, this is all wrong at this point.
Right. When it started being fake numbers and solving for shit that wasn't there, it was like, okay, what are we doing? This is not anything that's real.
And not using it.
You can take any number in the world, like a 4-digit number, like 4769, and add those digits together, which is 26. So you subtract the 26 from the original number, and 47, 43 is what that is. And you add those numbers together, it always comes out to 9. Every single number that exists.
Any number you multiply times 9, you add up those digits will reduce down to 9 as well.
Every single one. And 0 to 9, 9 to 0, it all equals 9.
So it is literally the end and the beginning. That's the beautiful thing about numerology and stuff too. It's innate in us. Like, this is all geometry and patterns, and we know all the numbers. That's the innate. So the numbers as symbols are fantastic symbols. So because they're innate in every, I can give people readings with numbers, but they don't know what's happening. They're just spitting a number out, but it's the correct number for the story they're telling, which is a pattern. So when you know the patterns, you know the story that's being told. And that's all numerology is about. You're reducing back to a root. So you've got the root of the story now too, or the overarching story, like a play. And it's really fun to do that when it's innate, when it's intuition, when you answer with whatever number comes to you, right?
Right. Man, thank you for breaking that down, because I struggle with numerology. We do a lot. Look, believe it or not, we're out of time, guys. Thank you, sir. Please come again.
Yeah.
You know you're welcome. You're a family. Thank you all in chat. We appreciate it. Tell them what's going on this afternoon, Josh.
We've got Austin and Christian coming in from the Mellowdome podcast. It's going to be an exciting show. I think there's going to be a lot of synergy going on this evening. So make sure you tune in. And I think actually next week we'll be taking the week off. It's not often we take a bit of a vacation, but next Friday evening, I don't think we'll be doing a Have No Sphere.
Love you guys. Thank you, Candy.
Thank you, Candy. Thanks everybody in chat. Thanks, Callum.
I love you guys.
Love you too, Candy. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Zach.
Love you, Zach. Thank you, John.
Love you guys. We will see you right back here for another episode of the Ironworx on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, next week on Tuesday morning. In the meantime, be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.